welcome to Talking the Terraces Football Podcast with James and Tom.
Wee.
How you doing? All right,
yeah.
you?
That's wet. Yep.
What? Yeah. All right, yeah.
We both went at the same time.
We come at the same time.
Yeah, in answer to your question, I'm good, mate. How are you?
I'm all right. Yeah, I mean, well, we were just chatting just before we started recording, and I said, "Oh, I won't ask you about that because I want to talk to you about it on the podcast."
Yes.
But yeah, you've had an interesting couple of weeks, haven't you?
I have, yeah. Did some Christmas shopping. Got COVID.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it, to be honest.
Yeah, bought a foot spa and caught COVID.
Yeah. Oh, how did you guess what I was going to get?
Yeah.
Bloody hell, I have to get something else now.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't know where it come from. Don't know where I got it. Wasn't doing anything dodgy or like standing in football crowds or anything like that.
Yeah.
Just woke up, felt bad. Woke up next day, felt worse. Woke up. The annoying thing is, and it always happens, I'd booked the Friday and Monday off.
Oh, no.
And on the Monday, I was like literally Beppe in East End. I was like,
So you spent your paid leave in bed feeling poorly.
Exactly, and my better half also got it, so I couldn't even milk it. I couldn't sit in bed with my little bell going, "Come closer, my side is poor."
Yeah, are you there?
Yeah, is that you, mother?
So you proper went through it, did you then, mate?
Oh yeah, it was horrible. Honestly, anyone out there, I'd continue to wear masks if you haven't had it, because it's bloody awful. It's literally, I felt like an old man. You know that sketch in the Fast Show, Bugger?
Yeah.
I felt like him. Just going downstairs to get a cup of tea and knowing my luck I won't make it. It was like that. I was just out of breath everywhere I went. I'm still feeling a little bit rough now. A little bit hoarse.
Yeah.
Yes, but
so how many days were you kind of getting worse and then kind of thing?
From the Monday to the Saturday, I think.
You just kept feeling a bit worse.
I was absolutely crap for that amount of time. And on the Sunday, I started getting a little bit better.
Yeah.
I even missed the Liverpool Atletico match. I was in that bad of a state.
What, you just needed to rest and sleep?
Yeah, and I never miss it. Like Clarence Boddicker on RoboCop, I never miss a game. Like, I just always anything. I'll always try and watch the match and stuff.
Yeah. Legally
or illegally. But yeah, I was out for the count. So, yeah, Talk the Terrace podcasters.
Yeah.
Get your jabs and wear your mask.
Yeah, well, it's true. Yeah, I mean, I still wear my mask on public transport.
I would, mate. Yeah. That's the most like place, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got to be these places. Yeah, shops and public transport and things like that, isn't it?
Yeah, just touching it. Like, just touching services and everything.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, isn't it? When it first kind of come about, a year and a half ago, whenever it was, is that everyone was kind of, you get a letter through the post box, through the letterbox, and you're like anti-backing a letter.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, or soaking your £10 notes in bleach.
Yeah, trying to read what you used to say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, what are you? Yeah, apart from feeling just the tail end of it, you're kind of 90% recovered, you think?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'm still a bit wheezy, and I've tried going back on the exercise bike and everything. I'm proper out of breath when I do it, but I think it's just easing myself back into it and doing little and often and everything. I'll get it good.
Would you say it's kind of the worst you've had, like, of colds and flu? Is it up there?
Yeah, I'd say so. I had swine flu. Bloody, I'm showing my age now. Going back years ago.
Did you?
Yeah, I had swine flu. Yeah.
Did you?
And I was in uni in Liverpool, and I dragged myself onto a train and come back home. And do you remember my dog used to have Jazz back in the day?
Yeah.
My mum and dad had the boxer dog that always used to sit on your lap and lick your face.
Yeah. It's kind of the 10-stone dog, yeah.
Yeah, just sit on you. And if you acknowledged it, she's just like, "Oh, right, you got a snug, do you?"
Yeah.
It's like trying to stop a 10-stone sex attack from getting on you. But yeah, she just kept a vigil next to me. She wouldn't leave my side or anything. It's just like watching me. It was worse than that.
Was it right? God, I never knew you had that. I mean, I thought I had it bad. Was it about just before COVID? I got hand, foot, in mouth.
You got what?
I got hand, foot, in mouth. Just before
Hand,
COVID.
foot, in mouth.
Hand, foot, in mouth disease. Yeah, I got it just before COVID.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah, it exists in humans. Yeah.
That's what cows got.
Well, yeah, so did I. But no, my little lad come out in all these rashes and his hand, foot, in mouth. And it was like, went to the doctors, and it was like, yeah, he's got hand, foot, in mouth. And it's like, well, is he going to be all right? It's like, yeah,
Did he go knees and toes, knees and toes?
Yeah. But, like 3 days later, I got a really sore throat. And then, before you know it, I come out in all these blisters on me.
Oh, bloody hell.
Hand, foot, in mouth, yeah.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, I never knew. Like you say, you just something you hear on the news that's kind of spreading in farmyards. But no, apparently humans can get it, and I've had it.
Had he been on a trip to like a farmyard or anything like that? You know, like they do with nurseries and go and feed a lamb.
No, it's just something that exists. Like what they say is that they reckon most humans get it, but they mistake it for chickenpox.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
So some people, because in theory you shouldn't be able to catch it twice. Like you shouldn't get chickenpox twice.
Yeah.
So they reckon when people say, "Oh, I've had chickenpox twice," it was probably chickenpox and hand, foot, in mouth.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because if you don't get it when you're an adult, you're screwed, aren't you?
It's really bad, yeah.
You're joining us and talk at the doctor's waiting room.
Yeah, I mean, God, you've had swine flu. I've had hand, foot, in mouth. I mean, we're
falling apart, mate.
And we are, aren't we? We sound like we belong in the slaughterhouse, don't we? To be fair,
I know. It's not an illness. I just don't like feeling like that rubbish, and I've not drank to warrant it.
Well, yeah, it's not hangover, it's not alcohol induced.
No, exactly.
I was going to say, did you have a little tipple during or after to kind of get through it?
Couldn't even do that. I was like, because normally if I got a stinking cold, I'd have Irish chicken soup, which is like Jameson's whiskey.
With a packet of chicken flavoured crisps.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much, yeah. Walkers. There's a plug for you.
Yeah.
I couldn't even have that. I couldn't taste anything. I couldn't smell anything. I couldn't taste anything.
So you had it kind of classic, the three big symptoms kind of thing. The cough, the fever, and the losing your taste and smell.
Yeah, I went for the traditional package.
Yeah, you're a traditionalist, aren't you, mate?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I didn't want anything fancy or anything like that, but also what I do. Yeah, the full works of the traditional one.
Yeah. So are you back out kind of in the public domain now?
Yes, I am, yeah. I'm back at large. I can smell things again.
Yeah, the crime rate dropped in your area for 10 days. Yeah, it's like, right, he was self-isolating.
Yeah, I can smell my own again.
Yeah. And have you got back into having a little cheeky tipple?
I was going to say then. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm back on that there. That was the first thing. Never mind in not eating. All that. Get drink.
Getting all my calories through whiskey.
Yeah, exactly.
And
bloody drink.
Vice beer.
Have you got any gin?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're back to near full health, mate.
Thank you, mate. It's good to be back.
Yeah.
It's can you get it twice, COVID?
I think you've got to be very unlucky, haven't you? Especially to have it with symptoms both times.
Yeah.
It's.
I don't know. I'm not going to risk it anyway. I'm going to continue to mask up and stuff.
Yeah, well, they're kind of saying they're hoping by kind of March, well, not March, springtime, that it should have almost fallen into kind of the cycle with cold and flu, and it should hopefully be no worse than cold and flu.
Yeah.
Because what I didn't realise is that they reckon there's kind of a dozen or 20 or so different viruses that float around, which are attributed to the common cold.
Yeah.
Now, 4 of them are coronaviruses.
Yeah, because coronavirus is not the actual thing. It's like a strain, isn't it? COVID-19 is the strain of coronavirus.
Of coronavirus, yeah. So apparently we already have coronaviruses knocking about, which are quite prevalent.
Yeah.
But the difference is that you normally catch them when you're 2, 3, 4, 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And then you catch it again 2 years later, and then by the time you're kind of like 18, you've had it 6 or 7 times.
Built up an immunity to it. Then,
yeah, which is the same as COVID now, isn't it? Largely, it's the youngsters are absolutely fine. So
yeah, exactly. Just bounces off then, doesn't it?
Yeah. So but imagine when you're 70 years old and you catch a new virus for the first time.
Oh, yeah, you got no immunity to it.
Exactly, yeah. So hopefully, this time next year we might be. Hopefully, it's a forgotten subject.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully it's a thing of the past. Like, hey, remember when we used to have to wear masks to go in the shops?
Yeah, yeah.
Rule of 6.
Yeah. Remember when I remember at the start of it, like you could only go out and buy essentials when it was proper lockdown, and you could have 1 hour of exercise.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, and we went for a walk around our nearby park for our hour of exercise, and we saw a woman holding a bottle of hair dye, a box of hair dye, and it was like, is that essential? And everyone's sniping at one another going, oh, they've been out for 3 hours.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. So she come back at 4:30. Yeah. She went out at 2.
She's had her nails done.
Everyone turned into a proper nosy neighbour.
Exactly.
Have you got your hair cut?
Yeah. Well, that was it. You used to see blokes in particular come back with their haircuts. You're like, what the bloody hell's going on here?
I tried to do my own. It was a bloody disaster.
Oh, yeah.
It looked like I was wearing a German helmet.
Yeah. Well, I think like we said at the time, like gradually each haircut, your hair looked worse and worse.
Yeah, exactly.
The variety of hair lengths going on and styles. Got about 18 haircuts going on at once.
The thing is, when you're doing it yourself, is you look at the sides and you think, that's actually all right. And then you have like a mullet at the back.
Yeah. Or it's that thing, it looks all right when you're indoors, and as soon as you go outside and get a gust of wind, it's just facing every which way. And
you're thinking like, why am I wasting my money paying other people to cut my hair and do it myself?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And now you realise, that's why I go and have my hair cut properly.
It's the professionals.
Yeah.
So I look like I'm in an 80s tribute band.
Yeah. Well, talking of leaving it to professionals, should the listeners leave it to us to discuss the latest goings-on in football?
Yes, I think they should.
Yeah, we are the go-to guys.
Yeah, exactly. We are the football podcast guys, and we... every day we're doing research into football, into analysis stats, and looking through stuff. So we're the go-to guys. Don't worry.
That's it. Yeah. So, I mean, I think we're gonna kick off the podcast, or the proper part of the podcast now, where we're gonna talk about obviously.
Should we blow the whistle?
Should we blow? Yeah. Obviously, the recent departure of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer from Man United.
Yep, it's hot off the press. Ole Gonner Solskjaer.
Ole Gunnar, yeah.
Yeah, there's a pun.
There's a pun for you.
Yeah, there's a pun for you. Yes. It was on the cards, wasn't it, to be fair?
Yeah, it's about a month, 2 months too late, I think.
Yeah, I think the writing was on the walls when... I'll try and not mention this as many times as I do. But
this is going to pain you, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, when we kind of beat them 5-0 in their own backyard and stuff, and people left by 60 minutes in and stuff. Yeah, it was. I think it was on the wall because that's just. I know how I would feel. Or I do know how they feel because it's happened to us in the past.
Yeah.
We didn't get beat 5-0. We weren't that bad, but. I know what it's like to lose at Anfield and walk away from it on the hands of United and all that kind of stuff. So it's not surprised me that it's ended up like this. I didn't think it was a good appointment in the first place.
No.
I've always maintained that it was a kind of a passion one, like we did with Kenny Dalglish 10 years ago, where it's like Roy the Rovers, just pick him, he's going to sort everything out because he's a club hero and all that kind of stuff. It just doesn't work like that.
No.
It has sometimes in the past for other clubs, but it just doesn't work like that. He just didn't have enough experience.
No, I mean he'd managed at Cardiff, hadn't he? And was it Mould over in Norway?
But even that didn't go well at Cardiff, did it?
No, he was sacked, wasn't he? I think.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just a passion appointment to me. And it's got to come down to this personnel that he's put. It's not like he's not had any money to spend on players, is it?
I think they're the biggest spenders, aren't they, over the last few years?
I think they are, yeah. The amount of players he's brought in, and they've just all been bad decisions.
Yeah. It's that thing that on paper, they've got 1 to 11, or maybe not 1 to 11, but 9 or 10 of the players are world-class players.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're not a team.
No, They're not bringing out the best in each other. They are great players. You've got Fernandes, Ronaldo. I was going to say Fred. You've got De Gea.
When I was going to say 11 world-class players, I then suddenly remembered Fred.
Maguire. Yeah. But they're just not a team.
No, team of individuals.
Yeah, they're all only caring about themselves and everything. And I know Fernandes went up to the crowd when they lost the other day and everything. They were saying it's a team effort, but they're also sort of long bolted before that.
Yeah. How do you think there becomes a time, and it maybe happened a month, 2 months ago, maybe a month ago, where the players start to think this is never going to work with him as manager, and they they drop their performances, almost trying to push the decision along?
Yeah, I wouldn't go as far as to say that they self-sabotaged him, because they're all professionals, and I would hope that they wouldn't do anything like that. No professional would do anything like that just in order to get rid of a manager. But there has to be an element of that in it, that they're not inspired by this manager. I saw a video online, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer used to do some weird hand gestures. He looked like he was like a mime artist in a steel drum band or something. Yeah. And Ronaldo was mimicking him.
Oh, like, taking the pee kind of thing.
Yeah, and he was just like throwing his hands everywhere, and that just shows a complete lack of respect for your manager, doesn't it? It really shows that he didn't care about him. Yeah, no matter what he says.
I mean, a couple of times, we'll probably. The question is like, do you think signing Ronaldo was influenced the decision or the team's performances at all?
I think it was a mistake. I think they shouldn't have. What's in the past, and just leave it to that, and let him be whoever he wants to be elsewhere. He made his decision to go abroad, and then that's it. That's fine. Him coming back, it was a player for an unnecessary position. He already had Cavani. It was arguably their player of the season last season in that position. Yeah. Cavani lost his shirt number. He lost his place in the squad. Yeah. I know he's getting on a bit, but he was still banging him in left, right, and centre last season. He was brilliant. Yeah, it
seems as if Solskjaer had Ronaldo forced upon him, really.
Yeah, and it's literally like back in the day when you had, say, FIFA, and there was no transfer fees. Anyone had just agreed to go to you, and you just got all the names just because they were a name. Like back in the day, you used to get Roberto Carlos on the right, Rivaldo in midfield, that kind of thing. With the old Ronaldo, the bald one up front, and it's that kind of mentality of buying. Well, United built their success on back in the day. I've been watching lots of documentaries like Premiership Years and all that kind of stuff. Was they used to have a solid team, but they'd always buy talent from like a 4th to 12th place team, someone who's overachieving within that side.
Yeah, and this is a very important thing that you raise, is that you think of that United team in the early 90s, fair enough, there was a lot of homegrown talent in there, but you think of like Schmeichel, Bruce, Irwin, Keane, Cole, York, all these players, like you said, Cantona, were all bought from teams who were kind of like you said, kind of top half teams, but but not direct rivals, kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah, they were overachieving. They were the starlights of their team, basically. And then they'd always go after them. But they did go after the foreign markets and bring in people like Tevez and everything to bolster the squad. But their core was always these kind of players. So, like players that are playing brilliantly in the Premier League now, like Gallagher for Crystal Palace, he's really impressed me whenever I've seen him recently.
Yeah, in like Rice.
Yeah. These solid, proven Premiership players. Who are overachieving within their own teams and stuff. Zaha, I'd get Zaha back if I was them. They shouldn't have gone after Pogba again. They should have gone after Zaha.
Yeah, so these are the type of players that United would have probably signed.
Antonio.
Yeah,
these kind of players and stuff. But they've just gone crazy on the transfer market. Just bought anyone. Like the Sancho one baffles me because he's a great player. He's proven to be a great player, but I just don't know what the hell is going on behind the scenes there with him.
No, and this is the thing, isn't it? Once again, was it out of his hands?
Possibly.
Is it more of a business decision? There was that thing when they signed Pogba. Did he sign him for 90 million? I think.
Yeah.
They made that money back within the first week on shirt sales.
Did they? Yeah.
You know, it's so
fair enough.
You know, with Ronaldo, what did he sign Ronaldo for? Was it something like 13 million?
Something like that. His wage bill's still excessive, isn't it?
I think he's on about $500,000 a week, isn't
Yeah.
he? But how much have they sold in merch?
Huge.
Off the back of him coming back, you know, on an MUTV or whatever.
Well, a lot of United fans had to rebuy the shirts, didn't they? Because they were burning them when they was going to City.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So they had to rebuy the Ronaldo shirts.
I suppose the question is, before we kind of touch upon who's kind of the contenders to take that job, do you think any manager could get that team performing?
No.
You think it's too much of a team of individuals?
There's too many egos. There's too many prima donnas in there.
Yeah.
You'd have to come in and you'd have to have like a 5-year plan. They'd have to strip that team out and start again, build a new squad.
This is it, innit? You know, in Solskjaer, they gave him a new contract in the summer, didn't they?
Yeah.
You know, it was more than 3 years. I don't know if it was 4, 5, 6 year contract. So obviously they had a plan to kind of build something long term.
Well, that's the thing. You would, wouldn't you? Because they were second last season and they got into a Europa Cup final.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd say it was a good season. You know, worth giving him the ammunition to go and push on.
Yeah.
So I think the thing is now, obviously, there seems to be rumblings of certain managers in complete opposite ends of the spectrum. 1 minute it looks like Zidane's interest, and then the next minute his wife doesn't want to live in Manchester.
Yeah, I heard that too, mate. Yeah.
And a variety of other managers. Who do you think? First of all, who do you think would be good for United?
What I'd do is I'd get an interim manager just to stop the rot.
Yeah.
I'd get someone who knows they're not going to be the long-term manager. And I know it sounds absolutely crazy, but I'd probably go for Steve Bruce.
Yeah. Yeah. Safe pair of hands manager. Kind of thing.
Yeah. He's got so much experience in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And he was not afraid to use his mouth to knock some of them prima donnas around the head a bit.
Yeah.
Like an old school kind of manager, and he knows the club inside out. So,
yeah,
as an interim, definitely not as a long term. As an interim, I'd probably tempted to take Steve Bruce. I think as a long term, I think the best fit probably would be Brendan Rodgers.
It would be, yeah. Just touching on Steve Bruce, I wish someone would give him a job because he's been to an England World Cup cricket final and an England World Cup semi-final, and we've lost both of them. So I wish he'd stay away when England.
Jinx.
Yeah, he is a jinx.
Yeah, he's a bloody jinx.
He is. Yeah, well, but Rodgers seems to be probably the top 3 favourites, I think.
Yeah.
I think in my view, he'd be probably the best option for them.
Yeah. The long term, I think probably Brendan Rodgers, but I think due to the way the team is now with those kind of international players that they've got, I think you would maybe have to go for an international manager.
This is the thing, isn't it? Like, do you need to get Zidane in, he goes into that club and every player in that dressing room immediately respects him.
Ronaldo's worked with him before.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing, you know, is Ronaldo must be texting him.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, are you taking this job or what? Or, you know...
Get a new wife in Manchester.
yeah. Forget about your wife. Come and live in Manchester with me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, he's going to get the instant respect, and he Pogba, who's also French as well.
Yeah.
And you know, all these players is going to. Is that what it needs? Like someone who is like, you know, got a bit of an aura about them.
That's it. It's not great for the club, but that's the situation they'll find themselves in.
Yeah.
It's not the manager. He's not definitely not the manager they need, but they'll want long term. But I think you're rephrasing it. I think he's the one they need in order to deal with the squad that they've got at the moment and to stop the rot.
Yeah.
He's probably the one they need. If they can't get in, then I think Steve Bruce would probably have to be an option.
Take it for the year, yeah.
Yeah, just someone to do something different, because whatever's happening there, whatever they're trying, is just not working.
It depends, doesn't it, what their strategy is, and that's the bit that nobody knows. Do they go for a replacement straight away, and then which case you say is it Zidane or Rodgers? Because Rodgers, like you say, might struggle to bring those players together. So to get Rodgers on board, you've got to expect that he's going to get rid of 3 or 4 of them. Mm-hmm. You know, and build from the bottom up kind of thing. with the type of players that we've just discussed. These players who are standing out in kind of average Premiership teams.
Yeah.
What about Pochettino? Like, there's saying that he could be kind of long-term manager. He's got 1 year left on his contract in the summer at PSG.
Yeah, I think he's quite a good manager. Would he be a fit for them? I'm not too sure. He possibly could be a good fit, but he's managed like Spurs and stuff. So pretty big club, pretty in structure. Ended up being let go after a run of poor results.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just whoever takes that precipice up, they'll have to have a thick skin because the pressure's going to be on straight away.
Yeah, and it is one of the biggest jobs in football.
Yeah.
Likes as Zidane could probably cope with it. Of course he could. He's been at the very top of the game.
Yeah.
The thing about Rodgers, do you think he'd be interested after his after being Liverpool manager?
I don't know. He could possibly be interested. He could possibly be tempted if the price was right. I mean, Leicester aren't flying at the moment. So if he got offered one of the biggest jobs in football, I don't know if he'd be able to turn it down.
This is it, isn't it? You forever. That was the thing, like with Frank Lampard. He took the Chelsea job, and if he failed, which they thought he did, he's never going to get a job bigger than that.
No, that's it.
That's his second job. He's gone straight in at the top, pretty much.
Yeah, you hit the ceiling.
Yeah,
haven't you?
And he's never going to get anything better. What I have found funny is that Wayne Rooney's ruled himself out.
Oh, good.
I mean, come on, as if like United are going to be thinking, oh, Rooney would be a good choice. Yeah, because we've not just made that mistake with Solskjaer, have we?
No, exactly. That's a frying pan in the fire.
An inexperienced fan's favourite who's not won anything. Yeah, that's what we want again. Yeah. He's come out and said, as I said before, I'm committed to Derby.
Yeah. I'm committed to Derby.
Gary Neville's had to come out and said he's not interested.
His management experience isn't the best.
Yeah, I mean, fair play for him for taking that job at Valencia, but yeah, he's...
it wasn't a good move.
It wasn't, no. No. What about the Ajax head coach? Is it Ten Hag? Is his name Eric Ten Hag? The Ajax coach is apparently one of the front runners as well.
Could be a good option, but yeah, again, is the experience factor.
Yeah.
You used to it being you or PSV in the Dutch league. It is a very different league.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know. I just think they need an interim manager and then see who becomes available in the summer. Yeah,
because I think Michael Carrick's taking the job, isn't he, next week?
What experience though?
No, I mean, apparently he's open to becoming the long-term manager, but once again, that'll be a very similar. You don't know behind the scenes. He might be like, the board or whatever might see that the players would be on his side. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, it just depends what's happening behind the scenes, like you said, mate. Who has respect in that dressing room or not?
Yeah, this is it. They've got to make a very careful decision whether they get someone who's going to command respect and get the best out of them, or someone who's perhaps going to ship out a few at the end of the season and won't take any shit, basically.
Yeah, that's it.
Do you see? Have you got any kind of outside bets? Kind of really far out suggestions. Roy Keane.
Can you imagine?
I know.
He'd have to walk out, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Well, that Micah Richards has kind of jokingly said, bring Roy Keane in as manager and get Gary Neville as director of football. And then immediately laughed for about 5 minutes after he said it.
I think he's the voice some of the players that actually need is Roy Keane at the moment.
Yeah. Well, God, I mean, he's going to instantly fall out with everyone. Isn't he?
It's going to be on strike in the old thing.
Yeah, he's slagging them all off, isn't he? On Sky, yeah. And even when he's covering ITV England, yeah, he is. Well, he was when Maguire did that celebration, holding his ears.
Yeah,
and he was just like pathetic. It's embarrassing.
You're celebrating for it. Sit down.
Did you see that video of him the other day? Someone attacking it, not verbally abusing him at Old Trafford because he said bad things about Solskjaer.
Yeah, or something, or was it about? I thought it was about an autograph or something.
He was doing an autograph, yeah, and then someone said something to him, but then he was immediately just straight down his throat saying, "Oh, you've had 2 pints, have you?"
Yeah,
feeling a bit brave.
Legend, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think it'd be a good shout.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm sad to see Ole go.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing for you, isn't it? I'm sure you'd like to see them suffer a bit longer.
Yeah, that's why I want him to get Steve Bruce.
I always feel sorry for Steve Bruce. I think he gets a really bad rap for it.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Especially did
He's
it
got a
Newcastle.
massive head.
Yes, what sniper's dream, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll go back to that point though. After the Liverpool game, there was all talks of Conte's interested. You know, he's available. You know, he was really interested, and then obviously like a week later he signed for Spurs as manager. Do you think they perhaps missed a trick there to get a long-term manager in?
Possibly. I think Conte could have been a good fit.
Yeah.
He's quite a well-respected and well-renowned manager.
Yeah.
Isn't he? I think, it's one of them things you have to move fast, don't you?
Yeah.
It's like with us and Jurgen Klopp. Brendan Rodgers wasn't doing terribly. We were losing games, but we just had to use that. If Jurgen Klopp said, "Yeah, I'm interested," we had to jump at it and get rid of Rodgers straight away. You have to be that kind of vicious kind of thing.
Yeah.
You have to get rid of a good manager to get a great one.
Yeah.
And
I think that's the thing, that United have been a little bit slow off the mark in perhaps all of their appointments, apart from Moyes, who they obviously had kind of signed up for a good month or two before he got the job.
Yeah, and that's what I've said before about his appointment, that he should have just come in and everything else changed the same, but he ripped out the entire infrastructure, the backroom staff and all that.
Who, Moyes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Rio Ferdinand saying that you could never ever get to see him in his office, Moyes.
Yeah.
He was, this is my space kind of thing, where he said with Fergie you could knock on his door and he always had time for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, he's proven himself a good manager, isn't he, at West Ham at the moment?
Exactly. Yeah, he's which he is. It was just obviously that environment, trying to fill those shoes is pretty much impossible, isn't it?
Massive job, isn't it? Yeah, trying to fill that whiskey cabinet as well.
Exactly. Yeah, old whiskey nose. Yeah. Joking. Yeah. Yeah. So there we go. It'd be interesting.
He's no
to see
longer at the wheel.
Do you think he'll go back into football if given the opportunity?
I think he's too old now, mate. He could give it a go.
Yeah, he could perhaps play for Crewe.
Yeah.
I think is that
manage Crewe.
we talked about that, didn't we? I'm glad we won at weekend, so our manager's still in the job. Yeah, I mean the thing is now he's never going to get a job, probably in the Premiership. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think so. He might scrape a relegation job in the Premiership, I think.
Yeah.
He's most likely going to go back to Norway and manage some team.
Yeah, or just do punditry.
Or manage our favourite team. Our favourite Norwegian team.
What, Honker?
Honker, yeah.
Honker, yeah, could do, yeah.
Honker,
yeah, maybe Honk for Honker.
Yeah.
Honk for Honker.
Cool. Should we take a break?
Yeah, let's have a break.
Break.
Pleasure.
Hello and welcome back to part 2 of Documentaries Football Podcast.
Or deux for our French viewers.
Yeah, French League.
Les snisters. Écoutez, écoutez.
Liberté.
Vive l'empire.
Yeah, welcome back. What was that? Gordon Ramsay? French pig. French pig.
That's legend, that one, isn't
yeah,
it?
That's pretty much the same as I ate Leeds.
Yeah.
I ate Leeds.
Right, Leeds. Apparently, that was like, didn't he used to have like a French chef who just like bullied him in Paris or something?
Oh, is that where he got his hatred of the French?
Yeah, and I think it all come out in that moment. If you don't know what we're on about, there's a clip of Gordon Ramsay just losing it with a French chef, and I think it's like Kitchen Nightmares America or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dead arrogant French chef. Not that all the French are arrogant, some of them are lovely, but yeah. Donc, you have dyed hair.
And a wrinkly face.
Yes.
It looks like a scrotum. You look like
and he's like, you French pig, you French pig, who the fuck are you to tell me what?
Yeah.
Check it out on the YouTubes.
Check it out. Thanks for staying
French
with us. If there's any people from France listening, welcome.
Yeah, bonjour.
Bonjour, monsieur, madame.
Je m'appelle Tom.
Yeah.
J'habite le nord, l'ouest de l'Angleterre.
God, what was that?
My name's Tom and I live in the northwest of England.
Oh, is it? That's quite good. Yeah.
Exactly. I always remember it from France 98 because they always used to have, not England, they had Angleterre.
Yeah.
Angleterre, Tunisia, nil. Nil point.
Oh, they beat 0.
Zaro, yeah. Zorro.
So yes, welcome to everyone, in particular our French friends.
Yeah, exactly.
We're glad to have you here. So yeah, we're gonna carry on. Bonjour. We're gonna carry on
the cocks.
Le coq.
Le coq sportif.
Le coq. Chicken tastes different in France.
What?
That could be. That could be like someone's safe word or safe phrase.
Yeah. Chicken tastes different.
Oh my god! Yeah.
I'm glad you didn't say cock.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
How do you mean?
It just tastes nicer. It's bigger as well.
Is it because they do like marinates or anything?
I think they just like look after the chickens a bit better. I think there might be a different breed as well. But if you go like to France and have chicken and chips or poulet and frites.
Yeah, poulet en frites.
It's really big chicken. It's really nice.
Really? Oh, right.
Yeah, try chicken and chips. Yeah.
I have to type in French cock.
Yeah, picture of Eric Cantona in the shower.
Yeah, it tastes nicer, does it?
Yeah. It's like bigger and it tastes nicer. Maybe that's just where I'm getting my chicken from.
Maybe it's awful. Like the best steak I ever had was in Paris.
Yeah. Well, it's just renowned for being a bit more foodie, isn't it?
Yeah, much like the taste and stuff. They actually work hard for it.
Yeah.
Like.
Saying that though, when I went to Paris, it was before I was into having like steak medium rare. I was still a well done kind of guy.
Yeah. And
I thought, no. Obviously, they're gonna probably kick me out of the restaurant if I say well done. Yeah. So I went for medium rare. Yeah, and so I went for medium rare, and quite literally, it was still mooing. And it was quite a difficult eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a bit like that. Their medium rare is like rare, pretty much.
It's like one below. Yeah.
Yeah. They've just held a light under it.
Exactly. Yeah. If you ask for a steak well done in France, it'll still be pink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. I like it medium. I don't like it when you put your fork in and blood comes out.
Yeah. Well, that's all about the resting, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's I think it's like a 10-minute window. So if you like your steak rare, you'll cook it like a minute each side.
Yeah.
And then you let it rest for 8 minutes, so it totals 10 minutes.
What, you just let it rest in the pan?
Just like on a plate, just on a plate somewhere, yeah. Or somewhere, yeah. But if you like your steak well done, then you'll cook it for 9 minutes and let it rest for 1 minute.
Oh, right,
so
okay.
It has to add up to 10 or 12 minutes, something like that. The cooking and resting time should always add up to the same, no matter how you have your steak cooked.
So it should be like 8 minutes, 9 minutes or something, but it should equal it out that way.
Yeah, the shorter.
Will it be cold by the time you?
No, it should be all right. Basically, all the juices run through and keep it warm.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so the shorter you cook the steak, the longer you let it rest.
I did see one thing on Ramsay, like he in order to test, like he was fingering a steak, and in order careful, and in order to test, like he like put his finger on different points of his face, like near the cheekbone. That's how a well done should be.
What, wrinkly, yeah. Wrinkly, well done, wrinkly, yeah.
Both sides.
Ball bag,
That's low. Yeah, but I thought that was quite interesting. Like, further back to the ear, it should be like that if it's rare.
I've heard about that touching different places on your hand.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like the fleshy bit between your thumb and your finger. That's like rare.
The fleshy bit. Oh yeah.
And then like done is like a knuckle. Do we know what we're talking about, or we're just making this up?
No, I don't know.
No.
I'm actually just looking at my hand now, just fingering my hand.
just tapping away at your hand, yeah.
Just go and get a steak out the fridge.
Yeah. But yeah. I mean, we might have given some really good advice there, or we might have given all our listeners food poisoning.
Possibly. If we have given you food poisoning, then don't come to us.
Yeah.
We don't know what we're doing. We're not professional chefs.
Yeah, let's just stick a disclaimer in there. No, we're not professional, and do not take our advice.
I can't cook.
No. I still remember. I still remember your beans on toast.
Oh God!
And that time you said you'd had sausages in it, and everyone thought, "Oh God, yeah, he's done well. He's cooked sausages." Like, no, it was sausages in the baked beans.
Yeah, come out of the tin. Were you there when I set the house on fire near enough when I put oats in the microwave without putting milk in it?
No, I wasn't.
It's just like completely stunk out the house. I did. Because I didn't know you had to add milk.
So you had toasted oats.
Toasted oats, pretty much, yeah.
Dried
like
oats.
burnt oats, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah.
I was hungover at the time.
Right, yeah. I remember you making popcorn at 2 o'clock in the morning in the microwave.
Oh, yeah, still do.
Still do, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, do not take our advice on anything food related.
No, exactly.
No. So yeah, I suppose we'd better talk about football.
Yeah, go on then.
So yeah, we've talked about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and United. We've got that sorted.
Yep.
That's
boxed off.
That's boxed off. We've talked about food. Tick.
Yep.
The next one is obviously
French
it happened.
chicken.
The French chicken, French cock. So now
is it a juicy cock?
It's very it's succulent. Yeah.
Does it smell? Sorry, right, go on.
Right. Yeah, it happened a week or two ago now, didn't it? But obviously, Gerrard to Villa.
Yeah, another management move.
Yeah.
I didn't see on the cards, actually. It's come from left field a bit.
Yeah.
Gerrard was doing pretty well at Rangers. Did great last season. Got the title back.
Yeah.
For the first time in so many years. Made the Scottish League a little bit interesting again.
Yeah.
Apologies. He's done all right this season, and he's still top.
Top of the league,
with Rangers at the moment. I think Celtic were 4 points behind last I looked or something.
Yeah.
So we're still doing well. Villa get rid of their manager. They're not had a good start whatsoever, have they?
No.
Compared to last season, they did brilliantly last season. I don't know if it's the Jack Grealish effect or not. Not too sure, but so they appoint Gerrard, and Gerrard agrees. It's like quite surprising because what do you think of it?
I don't know. From Gerrard's point of view, there might be a number of personal reasons. Like, I know he's come out and said this is not a stepping stone to the Liverpool job. I don't know if I believe that.
No,
but I'm sure Villa have probably doubled his money.
Possibly.
I'm sure that obviously he's near his friends and family in England now.
Yep, just on the M6.
Yeah, managing in the best league in the world versus managing in, not one of the best leagues in the world.
Yeah.
He's a draw. And he's come back to England. He's familiar with it. And Villa are a big club.
Yes.
From Villa's point of view, though, I just find it. Surely they know that this is going to be a short-term appointment for me, because one or two things are going to happen. Either he does really, really well, in which point I think, as you said, Klopp may be leaving, or has hinted he'll leave in the next 2 to 3 years.
Possibly 2024, I think he said.
24. So in 3 years' time.
Yeah.
Obviously, if Gerrard's done a really good job, he'll be going to Liverpool. Let's not.
Yeah.
That's the obvious choice, isn't it?
Yeah.
If he does a bad job, then, or even the same as what's gone before him at Villa, then he's going to be sacked within 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
If they go sideways, it'll get worse. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
either scenario, they're going to end up without Gerrard in 3 years' time.
Yes.
So, and I know that that's probably the way football's going. Most appointments last 3 years.
Yeah, you don't buy a house anywhere anymore in football, do you?
No, you know.
You rent one off the club because you might not be there that long.
Yeah, so maybe Villa are just thinking, well, this is what happens now. You know, you get a manager in, unless you're winning titles every season.
Yeah.
You know, the likes of your Guardiolas and Klopp and things like that. You know, they've got a job for life there. Really, you'd have to really go tits up for them to be pushed out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just think it's a bit of a strange appointment from Villa, as I'm sure that they must be thinking in the back of their mind that they're going to need to look for another manager in a few years' time.
Yeah, and like it is a strange one because, like you said, the logistics of it is great for Gerrard, and he's closer to his family. He's done his time in Scotland. I think if it was me, I'd probably got another title under my belt.
Yeah.
It's a great place to cut your teeth and learn about Championship and how to manage these squads and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had some tasks managing the likes of Morelos and everything. It's not been easy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's bloody...
hot potato,
he's hot to handle, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think he's had a really good management education in Scotland.
Yeah.
Whether Aston Villa's probably the best fit, I don't know. It's a similar kind of club. It's a city club.
Yeah.
Great fan base, good infrastructure, passionate fans. Worldwide appeal? No, not really. But maybe with Gerrard in charge, it can give him more notoriety on the world stage, I suppose. His knowledge of football is probably extremely valuable.
Yeah.
In terms of style of play and how he does it and training, that kind of thing. So, if it's a stepping stone to the big Liverpool job, I mean, personally, I wouldn't like us to do the Solskjaer thing. I wouldn't like us to get Gerrard as a manager.
That's the next question I was going to ask you. That the assumption is now, and it was when he was at Rangers, that if he continued to do a good job, that he would be the next Liverpool manager as and when Klopp decides to go.
Yeah.
Do you think that is actually a signed kind of deal? Do you think it is that certain that Gerrard would be chosen as the next Liverpool manager?
Possibly. It could be already decided that he is. Personally, I don't think it would be a good idea. I'd much rather us do the old standard thing, as Liverpool used to do, is where someone leaves, everything else stays the same, and the one under gets promoted. So we've got like Linders is one of the head technical coaches there.
Yeah.
Does it well, respected, loved at the club. All the players love him. Helps out Klopp enormously. I think everything else should stay the same, and he just walks up to the big position when Klopp decides to leave.
Yeah, I suppose that only works, and it did in that historic sense with Liverpool, in that you're getting regular success.
Yes.
So you know, if it isn't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, don't change the formula. If it tastes good, then if the French chicken tastes good, don't change it.
Don't change it. Yeah, that's the thing though. If in 3 years' time Klopp decides he's had enough, if he's won another league title, a Champions League, then you'd say, don't fix it. It's working.
Yeah, exactly. Leave it as is. The problem with Liverpool is we have got a slightly ageing football team now. Mane, Salah, they're both in the 30s now. Fabinho is. Firmino, I believe, is as well. They've got a lot of young talent, like Trent Alexander-Arnold, and fantastic. He's just going to keep going and getting better and better.
Yeah.
We're actually going to have a job trying to hold on to him, I think, at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a bit of an aging team. In terms of Villa, I'm not a connoisseur on Villa. I don't know what their squad's like at the moment. All I know is that Grealish left them in the summer, which would be a big miss for any side to lose such a talent like that. Maybe Gerrard can build on this youth kind of thing. They've got some really good youngsters coming through.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe he can kind of utilise kind of his like you said, he's really kind of revered in football, isn't he?
Yeah.
So maybe he could have kept Grealish.
Possibly, yeah.
You know, put an arm around him and said, let's build something special here.
And he's got a link with Liverpool, so he could plunder our youth team and get them a Premiership experience, wouldn't he?
Yeah. So I think in general it seems like it's a bit of a strange one for Villa. Not a strange one, because I think he's a good appointment. I think he's proven that he's done a good job at Rangers. So why couldn't he do it at a club like Villa?
Yeah.
It just seems like they must know that in 3 years' time they're going to need a new manager.
Yeah,
I think
they'd have to look at the long term of it, wouldn't they?
Yeah, which if they're not aware of that, then that seems a bit of a miss on their part.
Yeah.
I'd be really shocked if Gerrard's still at Villa in 3 years' time, and at the same time Klopp's left or leaving Liverpool.
Yeah, true. Rangers, I think they appointed a new manager the other day, didn't they?
Yeah, so it's Van Bronckhorst, isn't it? Who's a bit of a Rangers legend.
Yeah.
He was there for a number of years, and obviously he was a world-class player with Holland.
Yeah, there's a name I've not heard in a while. Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. He's I think he was coaching Feyenoord and won a couple of trophies there.
Yeah.
And then he went and coached in China or the US, something like that, or and then had kind of been sacked or had left those kind of jobs over there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it didn't start very well for him at the weekend.
No.
He lost 3-1 at home in the semi-final of the cup.
No, yeah, that's not a great start, is it?
No, they were 3-0 down within half an hour, I think.
Yeah, I think their top priority would be to get the league again, wouldn't it?
It's all about the league. I know they're having a strong performance in Europe, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think the one win away, perhaps qualifying for the next stage, I think.
Yeah, automatic qualification, I think, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if they were interested in Lampard at all. He would have seemed like one in, one out almost, I suppose.
Yeah, if I was Lampard,
You'd have taken it.
I'd have taken that job. Or maybe this rivalry between him and Gerrard's going on. Maybe he didn't want Gerrard's sloppy seconds.
Do you know what? That's a good point. Perhaps he doesn't want to be seen as always one step behind Gerrard.
Yeah, there was talk at one time of him being Celtic manager and Gerrard being the Rangers manager.
There was, yeah. I don't know much about what the details were, but did Lampard pretty much walk away from the Norwich offer? Was there ever?
Yeah.
There was an offer on the table, was there? So, to your knowledge, was Lampard ever offered the job at Norwich, or seriously kind of considered?
I don't know. I think it was murmured about, wasn't it, in the background?
Yeah. He definitely walked away in the end, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think it'd be the best appointment for his career prospects anyway, in that job at the moment.
No, you're almost guaranteed you're going to be Championship football next year.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
Back up again.
Well, yeah, but it's one of those that if you're not top of the league within the first 10 games, then you're sacked.
Yeah. It's like them and Fulham are on a seesaw at the moment.
Yeah, you got them, you got West Brom in the mix as well.
Yeah.
They're just all bouncing around the same positions each year.
Just can't hold on to the position.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we're in agreement. Is it good for Gerrard? I'd have liked to seen him stay at Rangers to the end of the season, I think.
Yeah, I think it would have been wise, but
yeah,
say these opportunities don't come along that often.
Yeah.
I don't think Villa are going to go down.
No.
I think they probably will be safe. And he's had a good start. He won the other day.
Yeah.
Late goals, but yeah, he won.
That's
something they haven't done much this season, is it?
Yeah, they're saying that whatever he said in the second half and the tactics he changed in the second half kind of brought the game in Villa's favour. So they're saying he had a positive impact on that game.
Yeah, he must have had like a Benitez Istanbul half time or something to get him to go.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, yeah. It's a bit of a strange one for Villa, but maybe that's modern football.
Yeah,
they never look. Do you know what contract he's on at Villa? How long?
Don't know, mate. No, it's probably usually 3 years now, isn't it?
Yeah,
it seems to be the standard.
Which just cements the kind of thing that perhaps they do know it's a 3-year kind of relationship.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because they don't want to give long contracts anymore because they just get stung, don't they, when a goal goes badly.
Exactly, it's that thing that offer a 7-year contract and you have to sack you after a year. He got a 3.5-year deal.
Okay, fair enough.
So yeah, it's
pretty reasonable.
Yeah, but yeah, I think bad for Rangers. I think Rangers will probably. We'll see how the next few games go, but I think Celtic could now probably smell blood. I think.
Yes, I reckon so.
The title in Scotland.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good opportunity for them to get back onto it again, wouldn't it?
And it makes our second team rivalry kind of open up again because obviously, you were taught. Your second team is Celtic.
Yeah.
And mine's Rangers for both cultural, historical, and religious reasons. But yeah, you were a little bit torn because your hero was at Rangers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and now I'm a bit torn because we've got them in the 11th or 12th of December.
Right, yeah. So yeah, the rivalry's back on for the second team. The Talk of the Terraces derby
Yeah.
is back on, yeah. So yeah, it's interesting to see how that plays out. Something else we wanted to cover in the kind of this second part was to talk, and we spoke about it in the last episode, was all the great football documentaries that are about the minute.
Yes.
I've certainly been watching loads of them. At 2:00 in the morning, trying to get a baby to sleep, things like that. So yeah, we've seen quite a few. Do you want to go first? We're just going to pick, aren't we, two each that we think are really good documentaries.
Yeah, my absolute favourite that I've seen is the one you got me one Christmas. Actually, it was the Maradona one, the Diego Maradona.
Yeah.
Because it was something I found it a hard watch. It's one of them where it's hard to try and get yourself to watch it, because in your mind's eye as an Englishman, he is the devil incarnate. So, and I think I mentioned about this on the podcast previously, how surprised I was that there's not just one story behind there's a whole reasoning and everything behind that man and why he was like that. Like I told you about, he got drug addiction due to sciatica. He used to get really bad sciatica, taking painkillers, and that led on to other things and everything. But that was a great documentary, because it was very much, it wasn't painting him as a god or anything, and it was very much warts and all, and it went in a lot into the actual who's actually running Italian football, and mentioned about how the government got involved and went after him for tax and everything. So fantastic documentary that was, and well worth a watch.
Yeah, I did try to watch that a couple of weeks ago, but I was falling asleep.
Oh,
so I had to kind of give in on that and turn the telly off. And
you have to concentrate, because there's a lot of subtitles unless you can speak Spanish.
Exactly. Yeah, it was taking too much energy to watch it. But yeah, I will get round to that. Absolutely, I'm sure it'll be a cracking watch. Yeah. Yeah,
definite watch, mate. That one. Yeah. What's yours one?
Yeah. So my first one is the Sir Alex Ferguson one.
Yeah.
Never Give In, which obviously kind of documents. It's actually produced or directed by his son,
that
Jason
one
Ferguson. Yeah, no, that's Darren, who's a football manager.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah. So Jason, he obviously works in kind of film and TV, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's directed this documentary about his dad's life. And it starts off with the kind of thing of him having this, the serious brain hemorrhage that he had.
Yes.
And his biggest fear was losing his memories, of obviously, which is, his kind of memories that no one can compete with, probably, in terms of success and what a life he's led. So yeah, it basically starts off with that, and then it just goes back through his life from birth to today, really.
About Govan and everything. Yeah,
it goes right back to the start in Glasgow and his life in Glasgow. The really interesting bit is his relationship with Rangers. So he grew up as a Rangers fan.
Yeah.
A big Rangers fan, and it was his dream to play for Rangers and play at Ibrox. And I think he was at 2 or 3 clubs before he actually got signed by Rangers. And he was seen as like the best striker in Scotland. He was a fantastic player. Anyway, he got to the cup final with Rangers against Celtic, and it was his mistake that led to Celtic scoring the first goal.
Oh God!
In which case he got absolutely hammered, I think, by fans and things like that, and he got forced out the club.
Oh my God! I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he had a very poisoned view of Rangers, which was his love. And then there's this very really telling bit when he's manager of Aberdeen.
Yeah.
And he gets to play Rangers in the cup final as Aberdeen manager. And Aberdeen have just won the league. They're the best team in Scotland by a mile. They dethroned Celtic and Rangers.
Yeah.
And they play Rangers in the final, and they score like in the last few minutes and win 1-0. And they go up to Sir Alex Ferguson and say, "Oh, you must be over the moon. You've just won the Scottish Cup." And he was just like, disgusting. That was a disgusting performance.
Really?
He said we should be ashamed of ourselves. And he absolutely hammered the team, and he wouldn't let them celebrate. He was just, and it all comes down to that thing that he wanted to murder Rangers on that day.
Yeah, he wanted to embarrass them
and the fans in the club. He wanted to absolutely hammer them.
God, I didn't know he had that kind of a relationship with Rangers.
Yeah, but in the documentary, he says he's ashamed that he spoke like that. He said he got that wrong. He should never have said that. You know, he should have been happy that he won the Scottish Cup. And that's one of his regrets in football, the way he reacted to that game.
If you have your dreams broken, it will make you react like that once it sometimes.
Yeah. But a really good watch. You know, of one of the best managers the game's ever seen, and a really interesting life. So yeah, definitely. You got another one, mate?
Yeah, my second one is At the End of the Storm, the Liverpool documentary for this season we won the Premier League.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons that it was showed us winning the Premier League.
Yeah, you enjoyed it, didn't you, mate?
Yeah, exactly. Really good put together documentary. It wasn't just like this is one game, this is the goal, this is one game. It was very much based upon like around the ground, the fans. I was going to do Brendan Rodgers.
I thought you were going that way. Yeah,
nearly did it. The team, the infrastructure, the tea lady. Fabulous. It was just everything about it's really good. Like the music's really good into it. They have like Lana Del Rey singing "You'll Never Walk Alone" at the end.
All right. Where can you watch that? Is it on Amazon or Netflix?
Documentaries, I think, mate.
Okay.
Yeah, if you get entertainment, you can have it for like $5 at the moment on Now TV. So
okay.
Yeah, it's got loads of football documentaries on there. So yeah, it's definitely worth looking at. But it also goes into COVID and the effect it had on the league, not just Liverpool and stuff. But like how it was going to be the Asterix League, wasn't it?
Yeah, which was what Gary Neville was hoping for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Didn't get his way, did he?
No.
Yeah, so that's worth a watch, mate.
Yeah. No, I shall watch it. I didn't know that existed, so I'll look out for that.
Yeah.
My final one is Sunderland Till I Die.
Never seen that one.
Really good. I think it's a three series.
Yeah.
Basically the first series is Sunderland have just been relegated from the Premiership.
Mm-hmm.
So following them in their first season back in the Championship, and the ups and downs. They've got an owner who's not willing to spend a penny more at the club.
Yeah.
So they're paying some players astronomical wages. They can't afford to get any other players in.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously that season they then get relegated to League One, so they go down 2 divisions in 2 years.
Good God, yeah.
And then there's managers comings and goings. In this massive club, an absolutely massive club. And then what's really good is that you understand a club like that, and it's probably similar with Liverpool. Maybe Man United, maybe not so Man United, but you really feel it feels like a small club.
Mm-hmm.
The fans are so passionate and are so tied into that club, and the fans are so religious about it. It doesn't. It feels quite personal. So yeah, it's there's no kind of positivity to the documentary really. It's kind of they get to playoff finals, they get to Johnson's Paint Trophy finals, and they lose both. They don't get promoted. The second managers, there's players leaving. There's just disaster after disaster. So yeah, it's some documentaries catch a team in their prime and witness them make with success. This captures Sunderland in freefall, really.
Yeah, I bet it's interesting because it's very interesting I'm guessing it's like a fly on the wall thing. So I guess it's good to see the inner workings of a club because it is unlike anything in business, is it?
It is, yeah. And what you get to see is interesting with Sunderland is in the middle of it, they get bought out by a new owner.
Yeah.
So the new owner comes in with his right-hand man, and the way they're trying to change the club and make the books balance, and even stupid things. They're looking at the intro, the music they play when the players come onto the pitch.
Yeah.
And how loud it is, and just weird things like that. You get to see all the inner workings of it, and the training ground's covered in snow, so they all go down to the ground and clear the pitch just so they can do training, and the owners and staff and the chef are all helping out. It's just things like that you don't get to see at a football club.
Yeah.
So yeah, really good watch.
Oh right, I'll have to watch that then, mate.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Yeah, I think it was one of the first ones of that kind of that.
Yeah, it was all around the time of the City and Spurs one. So yeah, it's probably 3-4 years old now, the very start of it. So yeah, I can recommend that one.
Cool, that sounds good.
Cool. Time for a break.
Time for a break.
Let's do it.
Juan Carlos. Welcome to Juan Carlos Tapas Restaurant. Juan Carlos. Come to our restaurant, the best tapas restaurant in all of Pablo de Dudley. Juan Carlos. Come, feast upon my Spanish sausage. Juan Carlos. Come, I will show you to your table. Pull out your chair, then seat your wife and sneakily sniff her hair. Juan Carlos. Come, don't take my word for it. Listen to my customers. Juan Carlos. Juan Carlos is a real gentleman. I told him that I was having difficulty eating my fish platter. He then leaned forward and stuck his finger right into my clam. Wonderful. Juan Carlos. So come, be my guest, eat my food, drink my sangria, and then join me in the hot tub after the meal for one final little portion. Hasta luego, Juan Carlos.
Hello and welcome back to the final part of this episode.
Hello.
We've had some good football topics today, mate.
We've covered a lot off, haven't we?
We have, yeah. Very deep and interesting topics.
I hope these managers are listening and taking notes.
I hope so. Yeah. Maybe Solskjaer, if he wants to start kind of, getting ready for his next job and how he can improve.
Yeah.
Come to Talk of the Terrace Football Podcast.
Yeah, well, we won't pay you, but yeah. Go on.
yeah. This is like the free advice, isn't it? This is like you get 1 hour free.
Yeah, exactly. Next week we've got Zinedine Zidane's wife.
yeah.
And why she hates Manchester.
Yeah.
I don't like the stone noses. I don't like...
the weather.
I don't like Buddingtons.
Yeah.
Oh God, I've got a proper Motley laugh now.
Yeah. So yeah, this bit we always we stop talking about football, and we go kind of on a tangent and we talk about weird news and classic album, don't we?
Have we got the intro?
We've got the intro. Weird news. That's the intro for weird news. Yeah, so weird news sits with me this week. I'm your bringer of weird news.
Bring it to me.
Bring it to. I've got 3 headlines. The first of which is one you sent me. And it is an all-time classic and one that cannot be missed. So yeah, I might as well get you know what's coming. But this is a weird news classic. This is.
Go on.
So the headline reads, "Drinking Nana's piss has given me women's tits."
I just saw that. I had to send it to you.
It was ultimate that has got to go on the podcast.
That is like, yeah. And the publication, you don't know if it's the most credible publication though, do you?
No. Yeah.
The Daily Star.
Yeah. Yeah, it says, gripped by the modern fad for changing sex, Brian Squires decided in July that he fancied becoming a woman. But being a responsible citizen in not wanting to burden the cash-strapped NHS with his gender change, the burly 41-year-old decided to do the job himself.
DIY.
Yeah,
a lot of people did that DIY during the lockdown.
Yeah, and it seems like he's kind of researched it, and people have said, right, what you need to do is drink some women's piss.
Were these researchers like his mates or people that didn't really like him or respect him?
Well, it says on the dark web. He did his research on the dark web.
Right, yeah, that valuable source of reliable information.
Yeah, like legitimate source. Yeah, where all kind of anti-vaxxers and all those types of people exist. So yeah, it says. I like this bit. Unmarried Brian, never, never. Yeah,
shut up.
He's been. It says here he's been slugging a lot of his grandmother's bladder water, and already he's grown a fine pair of budding woman's tits.
They do look quite nice, actually.
Yeah.
He's taking the piss.
Yeah, he's a bit of a tit, isn't he?
Yeah.
So
I like that one.
So that's an absolute classic. The second one, the second story is from the Metro.
Okay, bit more credible.
And it's from last week. And the headline reads, Cheeky cow goes for a ride on a water slide after escaping slaughterhouse. And it's a video of a cow going down a water slide at a water park.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, right. We'll have to share them on a tweet after when we publish the show.
Yeah.
I need to see this.
And they said it's a bit of a miracle that the slide hasn't collapsed.
Yeah, I'd say so. We're
yeah.
ton, don't they?
He weighs 700 pounds, and apparently the slide was only designed to take 450 pounds.
I don't know. So there are some fat kids about, like.
Yeah. It's in Brazil, so they've been eating a lot of beef. Yeah, a lot of beef. So yeah, basically he's escaped this slaughterhouse, ended up at a water park on a water slide. But anyway, the ranch owner has adopted him, and he will not be sent for slaughter. So he's going to become a family pet.
Oh, I'm glad he's not going to be slaughtered.
Yeah.
So it's like a proper happy ending story that could be made into a movie.
Yeah, it could be made into a movie. Yeah.
Is this real? This story?
Yeah, there's a video of him on the log flume.
I'll pull the other one.
So
I've got to see this video though.
Yeah, there is. If you go to the Metro, there's a picture and a video on there of a cow going down a water slide. Yeah. So
that's got to be my favourite, actually.
Yeah, that's quite good. And then my third one comes from a book that you got me for my birthday.
Ah, yes.
Which we're going to have pretty much an endless source of weird news for the next 20 years on this podcast.
Is it good?
It's really good, yeah. I'd say every 5 headlines is an absolute classic. So yeah, this is called the Mammoth Book of Weird News, and it's edited by Jeff Tibbles. And it seems, which is funny enough, Tibbles, and it seems like he does quite a lot of these weird books. So yeah, if you're into weird news, then get this. And the headline reads, and this is on page 4, goat accused of armed robbery. Police in Nigeria arrested a goat on suspicion of armed robbery. Vigilantes seized the black and white goat, claiming that it had done the armed robbery and used black magic to transform himself into an animal. Right, so they're saying it's a person who was transformed into a goat. So
it's not someone in disguise or anything like that. It's
no.
Someone that's used sorcery to disguise themselves. I tell you what, there's one way to get rid of a robbery, isn't it?
Yeah.
Stop from getting found out. If you're just munching on some grass in a field and the police are after you, you're like, it's not going to be him, is it?
Exactly, yeah. Well, this is the thing, like, if people get caught for robbery or murder, could you say it was your doppelganger?
Possibly.
You'd say to improve it?
Yeah. Evil twin.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they could. Right. We've traced the CCTV and we've seen you going into your house. Yeah. Right, fair enough. You've got me.
Was his name Billy?
He's It doesn't say, but maybe no. A spokesperson for the police said the goat is in our custody. Witnesses saw some hoodlums attempting to rob a car. One escaped while the other turned into a goat. So there you go.
So this poor goat's going to prison for a crime he didn't commit. Exactly,
and this is the thing, isn't it? You've got to think about those people who get wrongly imprisoned.
Yeah.
And this is this poor old goat was just grazing in a field, and he's been blamed for a car robbery.
Unless when he's in prison, he just transforms back and like, you know what? I can't be arsed doing this anymore.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, then who's going to look stupid? It's us, isn't it? You know, for not believing this story.
Just have a goatee instead.
Grow a goatee, yeah. I will just quickly I'll save that one for next week because there's another goat-related headline. But yeah, it's an excellent book, as I said, on page 4. So there's over 400 pages. So
fantastic.
We're sorted for a long time.
Yeah. It sounds heavy. I can hear it in the background.
Yeah.
It's like Carl's diary, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So if the internet ever lets us down, we've got a plentiful supply of weird news. So thanks for that, mate. That's a very good present.
You're welcome, mate. We have had weird news shortages in the past, haven't we? It's always going to come in handy, that is.
It has, yeah.
In case of emergency, get out the book.
Exactly, yeah. Thanks for that. That's the weird news. Over to you, mate, for classic album.
Yeah, and the final section, as people who listen to the podcast know, mainly friends and family, we'd like to go to the last section is just classic album. Big music fans, me and James, always have been.
Yeah.
Love Shania Twain, Marty McCutcheon, just big fans of them. uh,
Yeah.
So
All the greats. Liza Minnelli. Yeah.
we like to keep it. We do like a fair number of classic albums that go back in the day, don't we? So I was going to do something a bit more up to date.
Yeah.
This week, so it's from 1972.
Right up to today.
Yeah, we're not going with Glenn Miller this time or anything like that.
Yeah, Buddy Holly.
Yeah.
It's
from 1972, and it's David Bowie, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars.
No!
Is this one of yours?
I would eventually got there, yeah.
Yeah. Me and you, both from our fathers, got a lot of musical influence, didn't we?
Yeah.
Passed down to us, you with the Beatles, me with a lot of like T-Rex and everything, and one of the main influences was David Bowie. And I remember my dad having this on LP, this album. So the title of the album is The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. A bit of a mouthful. But it's... the album cover is just David Bowie, looks like he's standing outside a working men's club. Yeah. And he's actually got a sign behind him that says K West. So I don't know if he was predicting Kanye West's future rise.
Yeah. Well, that's what he's named himself after. Yeah, it's his favourite album.
Possibly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like Destiny's Child.
Yeah.
Which was a lyric of Bowie's. It's an old album, so it's an LP. So there's only 11 tracks on it. It's pretty standard for back in the day. They used to have so many on each side, didn't they?
Yeah.
If any millennials listening, an LP is a long play record, and you have to put a needle on it. And once you got to the end of the track, if you got to listen to the rest of the album, you'd have to turn it the other way.
Yeah.
So we have songs on there, and what made me think of it the other day was, with Christmas coming, we're getting all these perfume adverts like I need to Chanel 5. Yeah. There's one at the moment with Starman in, and you just realise when you're listening to the advert, you're not even watching the advert or anything what it's about. You're just realising how brilliant and how fresh that still sounds from 1972, Starman, and it's track 4 on the album. And it just sounds amazing. And with these classic albums, we always try and we don't go for like cover bands or anything like that. Like we're not having Wagner from X Factor or anything who sings someone else's songs. Like all tracks were written by David Bowie even, except It Ain't Easy, which was written by Ron Davis, who we know. We know him.
You know Ron.
Yeah, you know. So there's so many great songs in there. Like I say, the Starman, which is a beautiful song. Ziggy Stardust itself is one of the most famous songs in rock history. Yeah. But my personal favourite is track 6 on side 2, which is Rock and Roll Suicide. Yeah. Which starts off as a very slow sounding. It's only 3 minutes long. It starts off very slow, very acoustic-y, and then builds into this massive Beatlesque crescendo at the end of it. Yeah. Saying you're not alone. And I think it'd do a lot of people who were suffering from mental illness or anything to listen to that song. Ignore the title, of course, but but to listen to that song, because it's one of those like Everybody Hurts REM kind of uplifting songs and stuff. Yeah,
I must admit it is a very soothing album, and you're right in that's. I had like a Bowie best of. I always had Bowie best of with like Starman and Ziggy Stardust on, but I'd never got into any of his albums. But me and the wife, we went to a David Bowie exhibition when we were in Paris once. Yes, and they had this room, and it was just live performances of Bowie on a big screen, and it was like really loud. And we just sat in there for about an hour. Yeah. And one of the songs was Rock and Roll Suicide. Yeah. A live version of that, which I'd never heard before.
Was it the one at the Odeon or something?
It's the one at the Apollo or something like that.
Yeah, the Apollo, that's it. Yeah, he did a very famous gig around this time, didn't he?
Yeah, so I think that was his final gig as Ziggy. Yeah. So yeah, basically we got into that song and bought the album which that was on, which is this one. Yeah. I mean, my favourite track on that album is Moon Age Daydream.
Yeah, track 3, side 1. Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely love that, and there's a brilliant live performance from that Apollo concert. It might be Odeon or it's Apollo. No,
Yeah.
it's Hammersmith, isn't it?
Hammersmith Apollo. Yeah.
There's a brilliant live version of that on YouTube.
Yeah.
Which is probably one of my favourite songs ever, Moon Age Daydream. I love it. I can't believe you picked it, mate.
I know, yeah, it's a good choose. It also, you have to give a shout out as well to the others in the band, like Mark Ronson's guitars, just absolutely amazing as per usual. Such a talented guitarist.
Yeah.
Because on other tracks and other albums like The Man Who Sold the World and things, it's brilliant. And you've got Trevor Bolder on bass guitar, Mick Wilmsley on drums. And I think, like you said, they disbanded the band after that. So all these great musicians didn't play again together for a while, I don't think.
Yeah. I actually saw a documentary. You know, we were talking about watching documentaries late at night. I watched about the making of this album.
Yes.
And you're right that after you did the tour for this album, he got rid of the bass player and the drummer.
Yeah.
And they always felt a little bit kind of hurt by that. And they also got cut out of kind of future royalties and things like that, I think.
Yeah.
So it was quite a bad breakup.
It was quite ruthless. Yeah.
Yeah. Bowie just decided he wanted to do something different. But yeah, it's a brilliant album.
Exactly. And out of the time as well, 1972, you're still coming out of the 60s where it was just a bit of a rise against conservatism. Not as in the party, but in like you dress like your dad, wore a suit and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
This man in this, basically in jumpsuits and bright red hair and a weird eye, it's still probably pretty shocking. So it's very revolutionary for the time.
I think a lot of people actually thought he was an alien.
Yeah,
like, genuinely thought he's that weird, he's that different, that he is like out of this world.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, very bold, very brave at the time to do that. So, yeah, that's my album of the month.
Yeah, no, it's
give it a listen.
Give it a listen. Yeah. You've had about 3 of ones that have been on my radar.
I know. I don't mean to steal the ones that I think you're going to have. I think we've both been cut from the same cloth, haven't we, mate, with our dad's influences. So,
exactly, yeah. We've got a crossover of probably about 100 albums that any one of us could dip into at any minute, yeah.
I'm just going to, next time, I'm just bastard!
Yeah. But no, I didn't know you were going to pick that, so yeah, that's something I can absolutely get on board with. So yeah, that's a great choice, mate.
Yeah, cool, sounds good.
In fact, Moon Age Daydream, that the Keep Your Electric Eye on Me, Babe.
Yeah.
The line in that line is the closest I've come to getting a tattoo. And
really?
I was really I'm gonna get a tattoo that's dedicated to that lyric.
And then have an eye in the middle of it.
Well, I've actually I have got a design, not the one that I did. I just did a lot of googling and I found like a design that someone had did that represents that lyric. And I was so close to going in and saying I want that tattoo. So yeah, that's how good the album is. It's the close. It's brought me closest to a tattoo. Yeah.
Any album that can do that to someone is definitely worth it.
Yeah, I mean the real sign of a good album is that you actually go and get the tattoo.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So yeah, it's only a 9.5 out of 10. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, what a choice, mate.
Thank you.
So that's us done for another month, isn't it? And we know it's coming next month, which I'm really
Christmas
excited
special.
about. It's the Christmas special, isn't it? Yeah.
I think we're going to have drinks for that one.
We're going to have a few drinks on the go.
We're going to talk utter bollocks.
Yeah. If you thought it was bad when we were sober.
Yeah, for a change.
Yeah, imagine how bad it's going to be when we've had a drink or two, yeah. The absolute ramblings that are going to go on. So yeah, we'll have a few cheeky drinks before we start recording, I think.
Yeah, I bought in the glute vine already, mate, as well.
Have you? Yeah, oh wow, actually, yeah, we've got some this year. Yeah, we've gone early and bought it.
Yeah.
Rather than
£5.
warming up a Shiraz.
Yeah. It tastes bloody warm.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like burning on the way down. So yeah, Christmas special next month. So yeah, please tune in for our Christmas special. It's yeah.
Cool.
We enjoyed it last year, didn't we?
Yeah, please do. And thanks anyone for listening as well, and for commenting on Twitter and liking on Twitter. You are our inspiration. You are inspiration, and we know you're listening because we can see the downloads coming in. So thank you. Exactly. Yeah, it's just not me listening to it over and over again.
No, I can attribute about 5 downloads to me and you.
Yeah, exactly.
But the others must be people we don't know about. So yeah, thank you very much.
We just love the sound of our own voice.
We do, yeah. Yeah, that's really sad, isn't it? It's like comedians who laugh at their own jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, or bands who listen to their own records, own songs. Yeah, we do. We expose ourselves to a couple of downloads.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Cool then. Right, so we
Wunderbar.
Shall we knock it on the head and we'll see everyone next month?
We'll see everyone next month for the Christmas special.
Yes, we will.
Where
Cool.
we'll be releasing the World Cup Christmas song.
Oh God, yeah, we better talk about that, haven't we?
No,
We
we've
won't
got
be
another year
releasing
yet,
it,
haven't
yeah.
we?
Yeah, we might not be releasing it, but we should probably
No.
see if we're going to do
We'll
it.
do a live session.
We'll do a live lounge, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a live shed. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much. Stay safe, everyone. Wear your masks. Trust me on it.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got expertise in this now, so yeah.
Yeah, don't be a
Stay
fool.
safe.
Wrap your tool.
Yeah.
Stay safe.
Stay safe. Stay safe.
Stay sexy.
Right. See you next month, everyone.
Take care. Bye-bye.
See you, mate. Bye.
Bye.